I think in order to be successful, you have to do 5 things. There's a sequence, okay?
Great.
First, you have to have your goals.
And you talk about audacious goals.
Well, I think have audacious goals.
Yes. Why?
Right?
I agree, but why?
Because you want to have the greatest life you can possibly have and the greatest impact you can have.
And your goals affect you, whatever they are. If they're small goals, you're affected in a small way. If they're really driven, you rise to the occasion.
Right. Goals. Next, problems. On your way to your goals, you're going to encounter your problems or your failures.
Yes.
Right?
But you don't tolerate them.
You got it. Don't tolerate them.
Yes.
Right? Number 3 is then diagnose them to get at their root causes.
Yeah.
And often those root causes are things that people are doing wrong. Maybe you're doing wrong. Maybe it's a weakness of you.
Yes.
Notice the patterns. Get at the root causes.
Yes.
Once you know the root causes to your problems, then you go to find out a design.
Yeah.
So you've diagnosed it to its root cause. Find out the design of what you're going to do about that. So let's say you have a weakness. You might not, maybe it's develop the strength, or maybe it is to work with somebody who's strong where you're weak.
So you don't always have to be able to overcome every weakness. Sometimes it's finding the right partner.
It's usually the most practical thing, right?
That makes sense.
Because everybody's brain works in different ways.
Yes.
In other words, to see something one way, you're probably going to be blind in another way.
Yeah.
So to know how to work with people who are strong where you're weak is very powerful. So number 3, design what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And number 4 and number 5 is to push through to results, right? So you say, I've got a design. Okay, now goddamn do that design, right?
The determination and flexibility to find the way.
And that's it. This is what I call this looping. Go for your goals, identify and not tolerate your problems, get to the root cause of them, then design a path to fix those things, and then go beyond it to push through. And you just life is just basically keep doing that over and over again. And if you do that, you'll make the advances. That is why failure's a teacher. You know, if you have success, you did it right. So there's nothing to learn probably, right? If you have failure, there's something to learn, right?
Yes.
Make the most of your failures. What I learned, I developed an instinctual reaction that's different from failure. The instinct is now to view failure as a puzzle that will give me gems. The puzzle.
Once you solve the puzzle.
Right. The puzzle is, what would I do differently in the future so not to have that result?
And that's where the principles come from.
That's what you write that down.
Yeah. So you can guide those decisions in the future and really make it happen. After every event I've done, Ray, in 40 years, my team will tell you there's no exaggeration, not after every event, after every break at every event, which is usually pretty late at night, I think you know, I do a debrief of everything that worked so I can capture it and why, the principle behind it, and then I do a debrief of what didn't work or could have been better and what should we do to change it and improve it. And I've done that for 40 years to give you an idea. So there's a reason why events get better and better, because it's nothing but principles. And then my team reviews it before the next event. We review what works so we can do it again even better, and then we see what didn't and figure out what the solution is. And it's just, the learning never stops, right?
Well, this is why something you and I want to pass along to the health, right?
Yes, for
the
sure.
value of mistakes.
Yes.
And they sting, so they stick.
Yes, you remember them.
Right.
Yes.
Like I think of my life, and I remember back, and I remember all my failures. I don't remember my successes.
Yes.
And so to me, I would think it was a life of failure.
Well, I'll remind you. You've had a lot of success.
But because of that,
yes,
it's all evolution.
Yes.
It's all evolution.
Yes.
And it's beautiful. But you can't worry about getting your knees skinned, you know?